Age of Empires 4 is amazing. Yes, you heard that right. I think this game is absolutely is amazing. Now for some of you it might not be, but for others it would be. When I first came into Age of Empires, I was initially under the impression that it was going to be something even more innovative than the old Age of Empires. Now, when I had a look at what Age of Empires was going to be, it was going to be Age of Empires 3 in terms of graphics and in terms of a sort of outlook from a visual perspective, while retaining most of Age of Empires 2's core mechanics. And I have to say, Age of Empires 4 has thoroughly made me happy. Really. And Age of Empires 4 has this weird thing. On the one hand, there are things that you might not like the UI being too simplistic, the UI being too, a little bit too modern. But on the other hand, it works. One of the things about Age of Empires 2 was that you could have UI that specifically was tailored to that faction because it was set in the Middle Ages. Whereas Age of Empires 4 has gone for this sort of blank uniforms. Age of Empires 4 user interface grows on you as you play more of it. It has grown on me. Age of Empires 4 has really grown on me. There are epic battles to be fought. There is cities to fight and conquer. There is so much to do in this game. And this is just me discussing what I think of Age of Empires 4. And you know what? I've really enjoyed the game. I think this is a fantastic revival for the RTS genre because most companies don't even touch history. Most companies, let's say apart from maybe Paradox and Total War and Assassin's Creed, they all cover periods of history. But there isn't like a big video game company like, say for example, like Microsoft that's doing RTS. And other companies have tried to break into the RTS genre, but they've succeeded or the game is just pretty much sold well, but it hasn't got that much of a marketing. It hasn't got that much of that marketing that it needs. And what Age of Empires 4 is doing, I think it's in some way it's playing safe, the other way it's playing risky at the same time because of the fact that they got rid of the campaign approach. That is, they opted for more fictionalized documentaries rather than fictionalized campaigns. They opted for one person to narrate the documentaries. Now I'm thinking that documentaries are seriously well made. They are seriously, absolutely well done. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And there is amazing historical value. In fact, they give the channel that does trucks and in fact they give a certain channel a run for their money when it comes to documentaries. The main thing is I've enjoyed Age of Empires, and in Age of Empires there's a huge amount of civilizations to fight with, a lot of faction variety, which is also very good, unique buildings, unique wonders. There is, in one way, I'm almost getting thrashed in multiplayer. And I'm really getting thrashed. But, this is why I like Age of Empires 4. It's because it gives you the game, it knows what it wants, and it allows you to create these epic cities, and it allows you to do things that normally you would do in old games, but this time you just get to reinvent the wheel a little bit. And Age of Empires 4, I think I've played it for almost 8 hours now. So this isn't a official review. This is more or less just me giving my thoughts, giving my impressions. But Age of Empires 4, I think, really satisfied those players that really enjoyed Age of Empires 2. And it's free on Xbox Game Pass. So, it isn't... And Xbox Game Pass is very cheap. So it isn't very much like you're restricted from not playing. You can buy this on Steam, you can buy this on Windows Game Store, you can buy this on other stores as well. Although I was surprised that it didn't come on Epic. Now I haven't played much of the single player content, but I will be doing to make sure I present a full balanced view. But from what I played of the Battle of Hastings, I love this style of scripted battles. I really absolutely want more formation style battles within this game. And for, is the fact is that these historical documentaries are so well made. Now imagine if you did a Age of Empires 2 campaign, let's say Montezuma or the Aztecs, or you did the Crusades, and now present that in an historical documentary style. That is going to be amazing. Do it on the Crusades, do it on the Ottoman versus Portuguese wars, do it on the Spanish conquest of Southeast Asia or the Spanish conquest of Mexico. Maybe do an alternate history campaign where in reality, well, not so much reality, where you play as Aztecs and you expel the Spanish from Mexico. You create this different timeline. Why not go down the route of paradox and create some sort of alternate history scenarios? Age of Empires 4 could really excel in that. And in terms of combat, I'm liking the combat. I think the combat is fine. But sometimes there is too much, too much jumbling around, too much microing around, where you can see your units fighting, but sometimes the color saturation might be a bit too much. Where you can see red and blue, but you can't see much, and you can zoom in, but you still can't see too much of the units in close detail as you would in Age of Empires 2 DE. But that's a minor nitpick. I can still see most of the units, I can still see pretty much everything, and I'm just saying I really enjoyed it. And I probably repeated myself 10 times now. But Age of Empires 4, excellent music and sound design. I've got to say that the soundtrack is absolutely epic. And just think, with the new DLCs that will come, with the new civilizations that will come, there will be even more soundtracks being added onto this. And the soundtrack is absolutely amazing. I'm glad that they went for a native ambience rather than sort of, a little bit of gaming music. While I understand that some players really, really enjoyed that type of music, it wasn't for me. I like my cinematic Hollywood style music. In fact, the music for the Abbasid is so Arabian Nights, Aladdin inspired. It's so amazing. There has been so much amazing sound design. I mean, click on an NPC, let's say a civilian NPC from the Chinese or the Abbasids or the Holy Roman Empire, and their voice acting is impeccable. It absolutely feels authentic. So my question is, why didn't they do this in the campaigns? Sure, you had a person narrating the campaign, but you could have gone for original voice acting. I mean, if you're going to do a campaign like of Saladin, you definitely want original voice actors. If you want a campaign of Hernan Cortez or the Aztecs, you want that type of voice acting in there. But I think Relic Studios have really, really outdone themselves. They've done a really amazing job, and I, for one, came in with an expectation that this game would be meh. I didn't come in with the expectation that, this was really going to impress me. But guess what? It did. It really impressed me. I think this game is definitely worth getting on a sale or on Xbox Game Pass. Right now it's a bit expensive, but it could be less, in my opinion. And I think Age of Empires 4 really has some amazing, amazing potential. It could be the new RTS of this generation. It could inspire more video game companies to create more RTS titles. And I had so much fun. I really don't know why. And I'm liking it. It's a weird game because on one hand, there are things you will not like the UI or maybe the way battles are fought. But on the other hand, you will soon learn to grow to love it. You will soon learn to like it. You will soon learn that, you can improve in multiplayer. And really, multiplayer is where the main focus, I think, this game is. Because in multiplayer, you can play lots of matches. You can play so much more. But some of the things that this game needs right now is more single-player campaigns, retain the historical documentaries, but also add in some campaigns with some narration, with some fictionalized setting. So let me experience the story. I mean, in Age of Empires 2, you have the new DLC that does exactly that. So why not do it in Age of Empires 4? Add more cinematics, add more scripted battles. Because I think you could really, really do well with these scripted battles. Make them longer. What we need right now is more content, more campaigns, more modding, more scenario editing, all that good stuff that has to come after. In fact, add more DLC, add more campaign DLC. That's what I want the most. More campaign DLC, add the Sicilians, add the Magyars, add the Poles, add the Bulgarians, add Chola Empire, add the Guptas, I had the civilizations, I had the Turks, I had the Ottomans. I had all of this. I think it's really going to be amazing. This game is really positive, and I think it's welcoming new players as well. So in my opinion, Age of Empires 4 is amazing. The battles are amazing. And also, if you play Age of Empires 4 and you fight a battle, you will note that the units shout in their native languages, and it's impeccably well done. Impeccably well done. And it's really the small amount of details. It's the tiny details in this game that you really have to appreciate to really see how much work and effort has gone into this game. And I have just enjoyed it. So, this was just me, just my impressions. The Major FIM, basically saying this game is definitely worth it. Get it on Xbox Game Pass, or get it on Steam, or get it whenever you can. But definitely do get it on a discount sale, for sure. Because I think the price is a bit, £40 for, let's say, 4 single player campaigns, 8 civilizations, and also multiplayer as well. I'd say it should be around 35 to 30 pounds at least, in my opinion. But I think it's great. I think this game is brilliant, and I just wanted to say it's definitely, if you're looking for if you're new to Age of Empires, this game is definitely worth trying out. Okay, so that is it. Don't forget to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more of the Major's videos on Age of Empires 4 for the future.